Remote Oil Sensing, Jason Moses, Nick Bernacchio, and Emily Wong. Our purpose for this project is to be able to efficiently monitor oil levels in the Gulf of Mexico. High amounts of leakage is detrimental to both marine life and the dependent oil companies. A quick response to these oil leaks would help reduce the amount of oil and damages it could cause, and we plan to accomplish this with strategically placed sensors along the coast of the Gulf, areas that would be most hazardous to the human population if a leak occurred. The specific execution plan will be discussed in a later slide. To monitor the oil levels, we will be using the LeakWise Oil Sheen Monitoring System by AGM. The LeakWise sensor can detect offshore oil spills as thin as a 0.3 milliliter layer of oil on water reliably. It can also monitor changes in oil layer thickness and can initiate both local and remote alarms. The sensors have a transmitter that sends high-frequency signals, which it can then send to a receiver and is powered by a battery that is charged using solar energy, which enables the LeakWise to constantly monitor the oil levels in the ocean.
The Ferdinand R. Hassler is owned by NOAA. It was designed to maneuver throughout the Gulf of Mexico while being able to deploy ROV and other devices such as the LeakWise sensor. In addition to the ship's ability to map hydrographically, the Ferdinand R. Hassler can be used for AUV and ROV operations, buoy deployment and recovery, and general oceanographic research. The LeakWise is on a wave rider buoy, so the sensors can be placed in the water from the Ferdinand R. Hassler using the boom crane. The Ferdinand will leave the port on Morgan's Point and travel south through the Galveston Navigation Channel into the Galveston Bay. Sensors will be placed every 2 nautical miles for 30 nautical miles, concentrating on areas that have high amounts of oil pipelines and marine life. The ship's crane will lower each sensor into the water. After all sensors are placed into the water, the boat will return to the port on Morgan's Point.
This slide shows the route in which the Ferdinand will be taking to deploy the oil sensors. Keep in mind this is a rough estimation, not the precise coordinates of the route. A port on Morgan's Point serves as both the departure site and end site for the expedition. The Ferdinand will be following an elliptical-shaped route, making frequent stops to drop sensors every 2 nautical miles on the way up. Conversely, it will be making a direct trip back to port, deploying no sensors. You can see the importance of the location of the sensors to be close to areas such as the ports in the Gulf, and so it can monitor the source of usable water to millions of residents. Houston is a highly populated metropolitan area that obtains most of their water supply through the Trinity River and Bay area. Obviously, they need an uncontaminated water supply. Because the Trinity River is connected to Galveston Bay, an undetected oil spill that isn't responded to quickly could have detrimental effects in this area. Since the LeakWise sensor is able to detect such small amounts of oil, it will be very beneficial in protecting local wildlife reef fields, such as fishers and redfish reef fields.
Here's our bibliography, and thank you for your time and consideration.